Hello, it is, if you've lost touch over the times, Rev Ginger Brandt. I'm back. This is my actual self coming to you Facebook Live. No agenda today. It just occurred to us that this is my first week back and I haven't had a chance to chat with you in person in any kind of way in some time. Tuesday of this week was the first day that I sat down at my desk for an official work day in 9 weeks. And that was crazy. Crazy that it seems like much more time has passed, and also wild how quickly there is a groove that I want to fall back into. So I am returning from sabbatical. I'll be in worship from this Sunday on, maybe possibly finding ways to appear in both services as long as the contemporary one is being filmed before Sunday. That kind of frees me up to be in the building and in the room for traditional worship as well. Other big topics I know you want to hear about. Well, you may want to hear about sabbatical, and I'll get to that. But the biggest thing on people's minds, it seems, is when are we coming back in person in this room behind me? We've got plans. Trust me, no one is more eager than I am, and you should look for announcements, information, reassurances coming soon, because all the players on the ministry team for contemporary worship are getting together tonight to talk it all out and see just how soon is it possible that we regather here. I've sure missed this place, though any place can be holy and sacred. This is a good one. If you're needing one, this is a great one. A great room to come hang out in because it has exactly the right feel for what we want, right? I said, oh, wait, should I be seeing who's here? Maybe I want to say hi to them, but I don't have a smartphone or a device to check like who's hanging out on the lives. So you might send me questions. Please feel free to give me comments. I'll just have to have Travis feed those to me because I'm flying blind. Look, Mom, no hands. I said I was going to give you some insight on what sabbatical was like. It was a lot of time just me by myself as much as possible, or me in Tyler or in Smith County somehow, somewhere. So I didn't get to go all the places I thought I might. Dang the COVID. I did get what I think I needed from the time, and I really do reemerge refreshed and renewed. So towards the end of sharing just a little bit of what have I been doing with my time? I've been writing a few little essays or taking notes for essays along the way as moments happen that just kind of struck my feelings or struck my thinking. And I'm going to pull from those essays for sermon time for the next 3 weeks. This is your fair warning. I wouldn't even really call them sermons for the 3 remaining Sundays in September. I'm going to talk to you and tell you stories, and that's what I can offer. I hope you know I love a good sermon. I mean, I really love composing and crafting a sermon. So I will get to that in October. I will get to do some deep digging into Scripture. But for right now, I think maybe the stories are helpful. And it's just our way of reconnecting with one another, that you get to hear little bits and pieces and moments of where I've been and what I've been thinking. So I hope that's motivation enough to tune in, whether you do it at 9:30 on YouTube or whether you just find our Sunday service, our Sunday the 13th service later after the fact. I hope you check it out and just listen to some of my stories and see if you think the next 2 weeks will be worth your time as well. I kind of have a framework that I'm going off of. I'm calling these weeks dispatches from sabbatical, kind of like the old reporters of old who would send you dispatches from, the war zone or the hot spots. Usually the dispatches come while someone is still away. Mine are coming by reflecting on what happened when I was away. And I've sort of themed the 3 weeks of dispatches. At home in the world, content at home, and everything is changing. So if that's enough of a teaser there, I think you're gonna enjoy coming back into worship with some familiar faces, and I think you're gonna have a chance to be back in the room soon enough. Okay, with that, I'm going to see if we have any, should I say hello or answer any questions?
Carolyn Wallace says hello.
Carolyn, hey. I'm so glad to almost partially see you. I can imagine you there.
Emily Mann says hi.
Hi, Emily at home. I'm glad to see you too. That's very good.
And Jennifer Murphy Vixen.
Oh, Jennifer, hey, I hope you're okay. I hope you're feeling well. Also in our church family, this is not a secret. I wouldn't share if it weren't made public in our church family group already. Johnny Wills is in the hospital with a stroke, and it just occurs to me that some of us who knew already have been praying for him all day, but if you want to take a minute and stop when you're seeing this and pray for Johnny and Jennifer. We don't know more than just his left side is affected, and we don't know how much. We'll give you more as we have more. I think I had a place. I need a signpost. I had a place I was going to go next. Oh, I was going to talk to you about the room. Yeah. All right. So other things coming up. School has started again. We are managing our lives, still in a pandemic, still not normal, but regaining the best of what used to be our usual, I think, and figuring out our new normal. So to that end, we want to up our sort of programming and activity level around here. We're bringing Pumpkin Patch back, and we're pretty excited. All of us on staff are really pretty excited. We're going to do a whole Facebook Live dedicated to Pumpkin Patch 2020, how it might be different, how it might be the same, and how you can get involved. I think that's coming next week. But on the topic of time to ramp up again, it's time to get started and do some things. We've got Pumpkin Patch. We've just started this little fledgling idea of being supportive in our local school communities and learning communities. This is going to be super simple, not requiring a lot of your time and none of your monies. There's going to be prayer prompts in the In Light publication that we've started emailing you on Fridays. There will be suggested places to send personal notes of encouragement, suggested words of encouragement for teachers and administrators in this school year. And if that's not your world most intimately right now, I'll just kind of catch you up to speed as a mom with an elementary child, a middle school child, a college kid, and a spouse who is an educator, an administrator of a school. There is more stress than ever at the leadership level of all of our schools because they're feeling the weight really acutely of keeping their kids safe, on target for learning, of meeting a lot of needs with less help allowed in the classroom, as no volunteers can go in right now. And the teachers especially are sort of these, the ground level troops. They're the people who've just dug the trench, and they're in the trench, and they're loving their in-person kiddos, and they're trying to reach out and love their distance learners, and they're trying to get all the education done, meet all the needs, but not always knowing the systems very well, right? And dealing with changes every day. So I've been hearing a lot of just pain from my teacher friends. And I think look, this is a situation the church can just step right into. Not that we can enter all of these schools physically, but that we can step our support into this gap. We can send notes of encouragement. We can find places and ways to show up. We can even drive to an elementary school parking lot on the weekend and walk around the whole school praying for what happens the next week. And I have to think that it matters that we show up, that we're supportive. I think all the efforts will be felt in some way. So, encouragement to local schools is project number 2 after Pumpkin Patch. Project number 3 that's coming, you may have seen in August some news reports about a ministry called Mustard Seed here in Tyler. It's attached to a church a little further north than we are in town. And Mustard Seed Ministries gives away computers to children 4th grade and up, to college students, to teachers. They take in used electronics, they refurbish equipment with top-of-the-line new processors very fast. They have a deal with Microsoft to install software as a package on every computer unit or laptop that they send out. And Mustard Seed has been in high demand in fall 2020 because there are a lot more at-home learners than ever before. And some of the equipment the ISDs have ordered has not been delivered because computers in general, laptops especially, are in high demand right now. So Mustard Seed could use our help. And I think among our church family, we probably have a number of just unused devices, laptops, desktops, monitors, just a single mouse, a battery operated wireless mouse can be useful to them because it's one less thing they have to buy to package together and give away. So the other cool part of this ministry is that Mustard Seed requires each recipient to do 10 hours of community service and log that to get their computer bundle. Well, we have a great opportunity for community service coming up in October when there's plenty of things that you can do pretty safely outside in regard to grooming and upkeeping our pumpkin patch. So we'd like to start collecting for Mustard Seed. More on that next week. I've written an article for you. And then we want to maybe make it known through Mustard Seed that we're a place folks can get service. Young people can get service. Their parents can come along. And maybe they'll meet some of us volunteering in the patch at the same time. We think that'd be a win-win. So, boy, I feel like I just kind of spewed all that out because those were the projects that were so on my mind after staff meeting on Tuesday, and I've been working on them for 48 hours. And now I feel like there's more, but I feel like we can pace ourselves. I feel like one of the things Sabbatical has been teaching me is that you never need to rush ahead. It's never that wise to get ahead of yourself because usually the Holy Spirit is doing something in the meanwhile, especially in the spaces that I personally would rather just jump ahead and race right over. So my goal, now that I'm putting it on camera and out in the public world, my goal is to go a little slower, at a reasonable pace this fall and not at breakneck speed to just do everything and completely catch back up, but to add back in what we can do, to be thoughtful about it, and then to get us back in person in this space. I think that's enough of a plate to fill for fall. I think I'm gonna have so much fun doing these things and slowly, steadily, seeing more of you on campus as we kind of live into this system and as we show ourselves that there are ways we can still be together. We just have to really be careful and continue following the rules, right? In the school setting where my two youngest kids are, masks and hand sanitizing and distancing, all of that is working. Neither one of their schools has had an outbreak of COVID-19 since they started in, I think, August 19th, August 20th, about there. So I think we're showing ourselves there's a way forward and we can do some things. We have to be vigilant, sure, but we can get ourselves back together. And for me, I think my time apart has proven more than ever that I need us. I need community in my life, and not just for me, but my whole family, especially my children, work better when there's a whole village around them. Okay, I think I might, if there's no other questions or comments from friends out there live, I might have one quick story and I might have no more to talk about today. Are we caught up? Okay.
We're praying for schools.
We are.
And we're hoping Jennifer Murphy gets to go home from the hospital.
She's in the hospital? I didn't know that detail. Okay, so I'll catch up to that detail. Man, what a bummer. I'm so sorry, friend. I'm so sorry. Okay, I was going to tell you this silly story about my 5-year-old and the first day of school because I found out on Sabbatical, my family doesn't work that well with just us taking care of us. There are some obvious gaps missing, right? So we lost a few social skills over the summer. We lost a few notches of deportment and proper dress code, maybe I should say. And so on the first day of school, I have a kindergartner. He's entering an environment where there is a uniform. Never had that before. So there's certain colors and there's even certain fabrics that are allowed in his school clothing. I get him nice twill shorts, just like the uniform calls for. They're pretty standard issue. I lay them out on the floor the night before, and the next morning I hear a lot of grunting and frustration as he's trying to get dressed. So I go in and he's unbuttoned the button of the shorts, but not the placket. And he's just tugging like one up to one thigh and says, "What is wrong with these? I think they're broken." I say, "Baby, it's a zipper. You have to unzip the zipper." He's shocked and amazed. And it occurs to me that the kid hasn't worn nice clothes since he was last in church the second week in March. The kid has not had on a piece of clothing with a zipper since March, and he's only 5. He just mastered buttons like in the last 12 months. He doesn't know how to operate a zipper. So we get him all settled in to his clothes. He's looking great. We climb that hurdle, leap that hurdle. We get him downstairs, and he throws up his shirt, and he pooches out his stomach, and he says, "Dad, we are twins. I now dress just like you." Aw. And that is the story of how we taught Lucas to dress for Tyler Classical Academy, I guess. It's been going okay ever since. He determined that he can twin his dad as long as he can master the zipper. But listen, if we had been able to be in church all these many weeks, I would not have had an embarrassing story to tell you about how my 5-year-old doesn't understand clothes, proper clothing, because he would have, been getting dressed at least once a week to come and see you. Hopefully, the days are near at hand when all our kids are going to get dressed. Look, no zippers required, no minimum real requirements, but all our kids will want to get dressed up and come see each other, and me and you, and all of us will be an in-person communion once again. I think that's it for me today. I think that's what I have to tell you. I hope some of these projects make you look forward. I'm going to try to add in the comments some references or links to different things we're starting to do. So if you're watching this on playback, you can just look down and get more information. Once again, I'm going to plug worship. If you don't catch us live at 9:30 this Sunday on YouTube, come and find us on Facebook later in the day and see what you think about some of the stories. The dispatches. Oh, wait, there's one more thing. There is this kind of little disclaimer about worship. I'm going to tell stories about my time at a Jesuit retreat center. And so when those stories veer into the ground that could be slightly anti-Catholic, please know I got over it. I left with wonderful, good feelings about my friends, the Jesuits. I respect what they do, but I'm just going to tell you in my series of little stories for this Sunday, my there's the rub kind of moment with their system, how I kind of ran afoul of their system at some point, and how I think quite differently. It is not meant to be an anti-Catholic kind of story, comment, screed in any way. So I think you'll get it. I think you'll know in person where we're going with that. And hey, thanks for hanging out with me online. Thanks for spending the time. It's been fun to talk, and I hope to see you Sunday.